Hello and welcome back to election coverage from STN Channel 2. This is David Leal covering the Democratic primary in Connecticut's 1st District. The current Congressman, John Larson, is 78 years old and has been in Congress since the 1990s. 4 Democrats have stepped into the race to challenge Larson. One of those candidates is State Representative Jillian Gilchrest, who we welcome to the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's get right into it. So for those who don't know who you are, can you just tell us who you are and why you're running for Congress?
Sure. So I'm currently a state representative from West Hartford. But before I ran for the legislature, I worked in nonprofits. I've been an advocate for years. So I started out as a child advocate at a sexual assault crisis center, and that motivated me to get into public policy. And so then I went on to lobby the legislature on social justice issues. Decided to run in 2018 and challenged a Democratic incumbent, won by 150 votes. He had been in for 23 years, and ever since then have pushed for much needed change in the state, and I feel like I've been pretty effective. And so when this last election happened, I was shocked and horrified that Donald Trump got reelected and was questioning, where are the Democrats? Where are the voices? Creating a vision for where we want to go as a party and as a country. And so I want to get in there because I believe that government can do good by people and that we need to address economic inequality, healthcare, and public education.
Yes, and kind of on that, you running in 2018 and primarying that 23-year incumbent to get elected as a state representative. What do you want people to know about that race?
Sure. So at the time, I just felt a sense of urgency to make change. And while the man who had the position was what's considered a solid Democratic vote, he wasn't using the position, in my estimation, for what it could actually really be, which is pushing for change. And so I worked incredibly hard, door knocked quite a bit, and won, like I said, by 150 votes in an August primary. So I want people to know that I'm doing that again because I feel that same sense of urgency, and that to me, these roles, either state representative or Congress, is about getting in and making as much positive change as you can with the time you have. It's not for me about becoming a career politician.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about, how you're running this campaign. Are you willing to go all the way in this race and give up your seat in the Connecticut General Assembly?
Yeah, I'm all in. So I'm running through the primary. Hopefully I'll win and get to the general, but I'm committed to this race, and so I will get to finish my term, so I'll be in the next legislative session, but I won't be running for re-election as state representative.
Okay, thank you. So our incumbent congressman has not been clear on whether or not he's taking, corporate PAC or special interest money. Other candidates in this race have. So how are you funding your campaign?
So my campaign is funded by individual donations. I will not be taking corporate money that doesn't stay true to my values. And so I am calling people, I am doing events, but I am raising it dollar by dollar.
Yes, that's good to know. And what do you make of the generational dynamics in this race? Do you believe that Congress is an accurate representation of the American people?
Great question. No. To me, these positions are not intended to be forever, and we need to elect people who can represent the experiences of the diversity of America. And with all due respect to the congressman, he's been in since '99. A lot has changed since 1999, and I think we need different voices in D.C. I also think when you've been in a position, whatever position it is, for a long time, you often hear people say, well, this is just the way we do it. We cannot have that at our federal government at this point in time, and so we need new people who bring different ways of leading and different perspectives.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So as a tool to stop the Trump administration, do you believe a government shutdown might be necessary?
Yes. I feel like for far too long, the Democrats have played by an old playbook and have thought that there's a way to negotiate with this Republican Party. I think that the Democrats need to play hardball, and the Republicans are about to jeopardize so many Americans' health care, but that's on them, not on the Democrats.
Yeah. And kind of countering this administration too, what more do you think our Democratic leaders in Congress could do to, fight back a little bit against this Trump administration?
So I think it's both fighting back, which means speaking out every single day on as many platforms as possible, getting out there and continuing these lawsuits to try and stop the illegal acts of the Trump administration. But I also think that the Democrats need to create that vision I was talking about. Like, what are we actually fighting for? Because people are really struggling. And so I think many people are sick and tired of both parties, but in particular Democrats, who speak to a progressive agenda, but at the end of the day, no one sees that change enacted. And so I think that the Democrats really need to push and have the conversations about where they want to go.
Yeah. So there have been now some foreign policy issues. There have been hostages held in Gaza for nearly 2 years now. Do you think the Netanyahu government in Israel has done enough to get them, enough negotiating to get them out?
No, I don't. And I think what the Netanyahu administration is doing in Gaza is cruel. And so I don't think that he's negotiating in a way that is benefiting those who are held hostage and the families being impacted.
Yeah. And last Tuesday, a UN commission called the conflict in Gaza a genocide. Would you characterize this conflict like that?
Yes, it is a genocide. And I think that the United States needs to stop funding any military support while there is a Netanyahu administration.
Oh. All right, so let's move on a little bit and talk a little bit something a little bit more in your kind of background. Some of this public health. I read your background as a social worker,
Yes.
a master's degree in that. So how has that influenced you as a legislator? And how would that influence you in Congress?
Yes. So as a social worker, I've been taught to go out and listen to people, learn about their experiences, and then I use that to shape public policy that would benefit folks. And that's influenced me every single day as a legislator. I've met with so many different people and learned so many different things, which has informed the policy choices I've made and how I've worked on things. Additionally, as a social worker, we sign a code of ethics. And so I take that with me in the work I do. I don't trade on policies. I'm really focused on passing a policy because it will do the best good by people.
Yeah. So let's do some series of rapid-fire questions.
Sure.
Do you support the raising of the federal minimum wage above to where it is at $7.25 an hour?
Yes, I do.
Do you support Medicare for all?
Yes, I do.
Do you support a ban on congressional members buying and trading stocks?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe in term limits for members of Congress?
I am open to that.
Yes.
So yes, in concept, but I do feel like campaign finance reform gets us to the goal of a more diverse Congress. But yes, I would support term limits.
And do you believe this country needs to embrace more of a progressive tax structure?
Yes.
Okay. Second to last question for you. Why should folks vote for you for Congress?
They should vote for me because I'm really a candidate that this campaign is more about them. I'm someone who's going to go out, want to hear from them, and go down there and bring their voice with me to Washington. I'm also someone, again, who understands that we're only here for a limited time, and so I really want to be down there to make the most positive change I can and move this country in a direction where people come first.
Yes. And last question, where can folks go to learn more about you and your campaign?
Thank you for asking. They can go to voteforjillian.com. That has information, ways to sign up to volunteer for the email list. And then they could also go to @Gilchrest is my social media handle on a variety of platforms.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in to election coverage with STN Channel 2 News. This has been David Leal with congressional candidate and state representative Jillian Gilchrest.
Thank you for having me.